is here. Happy New Year's 2025. First day back to work, first day back to the grind. You know, everybody says New Year, new me. It's easy to say it, but who can really make them necessary changes to prevail in 2025? Everybody that says 2024 was a poop show and everything else, wasn't my year, 2025 is my year. What are you doing today to make 2025 different for you? Where's your thought process going today that's going to make 2025 different for you? Like, we really have to start putting it into action. We can't just sit back, relax, and just think that God just gonna make everything happen. You know, we gotta put in the work as well. God gonna hold us down. He gonna protect us. He gonna make sure that we going in the right direction. But we still gotta put that work in. It's still trials and tribulations. It don't just end there. It ain't just I have faith and it's gonna work out right away. Nah, it's I have faith even when it don't look like it's gonna work out. When it look like it ain't no way, and somehow it's still a way. That's faith right there. You can't just sit back and think like, all right, you know, I got faith. I don't have to do nothing. I'm just gonna sit here on the couch and, you know, I'm gonna be rich next week. Like, that ain't how it works. Quite frankly, it ain't. I'm just gonna sit back and, you know, I'm gonna learn the necessary things I need to be successful. No, you gotta go out seeking for it. You gotta go out searching, and you gotta put in that work. It don't just happen overnight. Common sense ain't too common no more, people. Common sense is not too common anymore. Everybody relies on others, sources, and so forth in order to figure out the common things. I know it's a lot of times I'm problem solving and troubleshooting situations, and people are like, yo, how you figure that out? I'm like, it's just common sense. But I have to realize, like, some things that are common to me aren't common to everybody else. Life experiences has taught me a lot. And not saying that you never had life experiences, but, you know, I look at life experiences differently than a lot of people. You know, a lot of misfortune happened throughout my life, and, you know, I was forced to deal with it. And instead of me just sitting back crying and, you know, kind of just being down and out about it, I was forced to learn a lesson from every loss. And even when it might not seem like I'm learning a lesson from that loss, I'm still learning a lesson from that loss. And it's too many times where I see people that take a loss and they act like it's the end of the world. I promise you that ain't the hardest loss you took. And if it is one of the hardest losses you've taken, think about all the other hundreds of losses you've taken and you've been all right. It worked out. I think back to when I was in grade school and I just couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure out the work. I couldn't figure it out. And I was trying, and it just wasn't clicking for me. And I would get a D or F on my report card, and I had to bring it home. This is before you could look on the internet and see what your grades were, and your parents could check in that way. Nah, I really had to go home and tell my mom that I got an F in English because I wasn't comprehending what I was reading. I wasn't writing the papers the way they needed me to write the papers. I wasn't understanding the assignment. And I had to come home and tell my mom that. And I thought it was going to be the end of the world. I ain't want to go home half the time, but guess what? It worked out. It worked out. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I learned lessons from it. I learned that I have to read. I learned that I have to put forth more effort. I learned that I have to slow down. And if I don't comprehend something, I need to ask more questions so that I can comprehend it, and so forth. And it actually helped me out in life as time moved forward. Like, I could have sat back and continued to just fail and flunk, and then the same things would have happened to me in life. And right now, I can't afford that. That's been the main driver of my existence over the past 15 years. It's to prove everybody else wrong, because so many people doubted me. So many people thought I couldn't do it. So many people counted me out. But I put in that work. I got a scholarship, full ride. Got my bachelor's degree, paid for. Don't owe nothing. Went, got me a job, lived on my own. I'm from Virginia. I did not go back home when I graduated college. I stayed in Philadelphia, the big city with no guidance. Was running around being a menace. Running around being a menace like I ain't have a degree, because that's what the environment around me was doing. That's what intrigued my mind. I had to get away. I had to get a fresh restart, because that first little taste of freedom, where I ain't have nobody over my shoulder telling me what to do, I went crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I went crazy. I had some fun, but I don't regret none of it. It taught me a lot of lessons, taught me a lot of things as I move forward in life. And that's what I want you guys to understand. The path might not look so bright right now, but it's going to work out, especially if you change the mindset and you're working towards a goal. You might not know exactly what it is you want to do, but keep working, keep trying new things till you figure it out. Because that's all it is. You got to try stuff to know what you like. You can't just wake up one day and say, yo, I like doing this. That's what I'm going to do. I like it. And then get into it and you hate it. It happens more often than you think. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. So keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep going. Because your story going to look different than my story. My story going to look different than the next man's story. But you just got to remember, what is success to you? What is success to you? What I might look at as success, you're not going to look at it as success all the time. Some of the things that drive me aren't going to drive you. Some of the things that drive me will not drive you. And that's something that we all need to understand. Social media, it misinforms everybody. It misinforms everybody. It makes you feel like you're behind. Makes you feel like you're not doing what you need to do because you're looking at everybody else's success. But I want you to know, you are enough. You are putting in that work. Keep going. I see you, but you got to see you. You got to feel you. You're not going to go nowhere if you're not feeling you, if you're not believing in your process. So remember that. Keep putting in that work. Stop comparing yourself to others. Be blessed. Start off 2025 on the right foot. That's it. That's all. Be amazing. Deuces.